Symbolic clothing. Hundreds of years ago, umbrellas were symbols of power and authority. Kings, sheikhs, popes, and other rulers believed that owning these sunsets added to their importance. The more umbrellas that a ruler had, the more he impressed others. And the bigger his umbrellas, the more power the owner appeared to have. It seems odd to us today that certain everyday objects could have once been used to differentiate rulers from ordinary people. Yet at that time, an umbrella was an ambiguous symbol of power. Similarly, contemporary cultures today employ many common things, including clothing, as symbols of social status. For example, in the civil courts of law in many countries, judges wear long robes, usually black, that cover their ordinary clothing. The robes identify the judge's role in the courtroom and symbolize their authority to administer justice. The gavel that judges wrap to convene court and maintain order is another such symbol of authority. In Britain and in most Commonwealth nations, judges and certain court officials also wear white wigs that symbolize their roles. Similarly, the ceremonial clothing of European kings and queens is symbolic of their royal authority. Nowadays, they wear a long fur-trimmed capes only on special occasions, with jeweled crowns on their heads and jeweled staffs called scepter held in their hands. The academic cap and gown is another example of symbolic clothing. Hundreds of years ago, students at European universities were required to wear long black robes. Today, academic robes are worn only for graduation ceremonies along with a close-fitting black cap topped by a flat, black square. A tassel, which is a bundle of long silk strings tied together, hangs from a button in the center of the square. By convention, students begin the graduation ceremony with the tassel hanging from the right side of the square. Once the university administrator declares that the students have officially graduated, they move their tassels to the left side of the square to indicate their new change of status. Graduating students also wear short drapes of clothes over their gowns, whereby the field of academic specialization is indicated by a color. The orange cloth symbolizes engineering, for example, and green symbolizes medicine. A wedding, too, is a change of status ceremony. Traditional attire is an integral part of the ritual. In the in a conventional Western wedding, the bride wears a long white dress. She also wears a white veil on her head and carries a bouquet of flowers. Her clothing and various accessories, which may be hidden, constitute traditional good luck items and that the bride should carry. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and a lucky penny in her shoe. An important part of the ceremony is the exchange of wedding rings. These circles of gold or silver have no ending and symbolize the lifetime relationship the bride and groom are about to begin. The symbolism of Western white wedding dress is so strong that brides from many non-Western cultures have chosen to include such a dress in their weddings. An Asian bride, for example, might wear a red gown during a traditional wedding ceremony and then change into a white wedding dress. Unlike judges or royalty, who wear symbolic clothing only for certain occasions, religious leaders tend to wear clothing that identifies their religious roles at all times. In many religions, there are two kinds of religious clothing. Religious leaders wear one kind of clothing on a daily basis as they perform non ceremonial non-ceremonial tasks. The other kind is what they wear while participating in religious ceremonies. Often, this attire is a long robe of a certain color, perhaps decorated with religious symbols. In some religions, the leaders must wear head coverings, while in others they are forbidden to cover their heads. Military personnel too wear uniform at all times, but different types. One type is for everyday wear, and another is the formal uniform worn for military ceremonies. A third type is worn in battle. Military uniforms serve several symbolic functions. First, the various decorations on the uniform jacket and hat are indices of somebody's position in the military. Second, uniforms encourage members of the group to acquire a sense of unity and pride. Finally, in the context of a battle, uniforms become symbols of a nation the soldiers are defending. Symbolic clothing can symbolize many things, including authority, nationality, and change of status. Often, the original significance of the clothing has been forgotten and has changed over time. Yet, societies continue to respect the symbolism. Other clothing, such as the white wedding dress, became symbolic somewhat recently, yet is still considered traditional. The objects and clothing that become important symbols in a culture are determined by the special meaning that people give them.